Why are you wasting so much of your precious time worrying about what someone else is doing, or even worrying about what people think of you? We're gonna put that to an end. In today's video, I'm gonna share how to stop being insecure and how to start validating yourself. I used to be so pressed about what men in my life were doing when I wasn't around and how my friends really felt about me. I would constantly ask myself, is he texting someone else? Did I do something wrong? Are they talking behind my back? And it was exhausting. And it wasn't until I started working on myself and loving myself that I realized it does not matter what other people think. It does not matter what other people do. The only thing that matters is how I feel about myself. So whatever it is that you're feeling insecure about, I just want you to know there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that you don't have to continue being insecure about things that are not helping you, serving you, or working out for you. So sit back and get ready to take notes, because by the end of this video, you'll have some practical tools that will help you go from feeling insecure to feeling secure. Let's quickly just talk about ways that insecurity can manifest in your life. Insecurity can look like being a jealous person, feeling bad about yourself, feeling bad about how you look, constantly worrying about what other people think of you, and even feeling like you're always just messing something up. None of these feelings feel good. Anytime we're worried about how other people are going to perceive us, it's a form of insecurity. And don't be too hard on yourself, because literally everyone is insecure about something. The thing is, it's up to you to work through those insecurities and not give them any power over your life. What's not okay is when we give so much power and energy to these things to the point where we just feel stuck, constantly unhappy. It's our responsibility to work on the things that don't make us feel good about ourselves. And I want to share something personal with y'all. For me, the thing that I was so insecure about is my feet. I have flat feet, but they also like curve in a little bit. And for the longest time, I was so insecure about it, like to the point where I did not want to wear sandals in the summer. I did not want to wear flip-flops. I didn't want to wear heels. Like, I would be taking trips to the beach, going to like Florida, talking about like, oh, like I really hope people don't look at my feet. Even though it's the beach, like everyone at the beach is going to be barefoot. Like, we're in the sand, we're in the ocean. Like, so it's like, it's just funny to me that it was such a problem for me to just wear flip-flops and sandals. Like, I was just so concerned about other people staring. And eventually I just had to ask myself, is this something that I can change? And obviously the answer is no. Like, I can't go and change the way my feet look. Like, yeah, I can go and get surgery, but am I really gonna do that? Like, do I hate my feet to the point that I would go under procedure just to change them? Like, no. And then I started asking myself, like, what am I grateful for when it comes to my feet? And there's like a million things. Like, I'm so grateful that I can go for runs. I'm so grateful I can go to the gym. I had to learn how to appreciate my little feet and my toes, like, because they get me from point A to B, and I'm able to live the life that I have literally because of them. So I had to learn how to accept the way that my body is beyond just my feet. Once I did, it made all the difference. So whether you have an insecurity about your appearance or your relationships, the tips that I'm about to share are gonna help you work through that insecurity. So let's get into the tips for the day, starting with my most important one, and that is to acknowledge the insecurity. By the way, y'all, I created a worksheet for you guys. I think that this is super helpful, because for us to work on the things that we're insecure about, we have to know what it is. Like, what's my insecurity? Where did it stem from? Did someone say these things to me and at some point I just adapted this belief? You have to sit there and be so willing to be vulnerable with yourself and ask yourself those tough questions of like, why am I this way? And I just find that there's so much power in being able to take ownership of your healing journey. You have to start with tip number one, because you just got to know what you're insecure about to begin with. And make sure you stick around, because in a little bit I'll let you guys know how you can access that worksheet. Alrighty, moving on to tip number two. You're going to start improving your self-talk. So I want you to think about someone who you believe is just a confident person, who loves themselves, who's like not worried about or pressed about what other people are doing. For me, I think of Beyonce, to be honest. Like, that girl is not worried about what anybody is doing. She knows she's beautiful. She knows her worth. She knows her skills. Like, I just think she really embodies a person who knows who they are. Like, do you think someone like Beyonce is pressed about what other people are saying about her, or if someone thinks she's beautiful or not? She don't care. And to get to that type of mentality, you've got to be able to say nice things about yourself. Like, you think somebody like Beyonce or Rihanna say mean things about themselves? Like, I doubt that they're sitting there saying, oh my god, I'm so bad at this, or god, what are they saying? Like, they don't have time for that. You have to be able to say kind things to yourself, and that is why we're about to say some affirmations together. So I want you to pause whatever you're doing, go take a seat somewhere, put your hand over your heart, and tell yourself, I am so secure in myself. I feel safe and grounded in my body. I love how confident I'm feeling today and every day. Drop a red heart in the comments if you did those affirmations with me. I want to know how many of you actually said something nice to yourself today. And you can't tell me that that doesn't instantly make you feel good about yourself. Even if it's just like a little tiny bit, if you just said those affirmations to yourself, you probably are feeling a little bit better. Like, you're feeling a good vibe there. So make that a practice. Truly, affirmations make such a huge difference. It's nice when people say nice things to us. It's nice when people compliment us. But if you can't even say nice things to yourself, it's really hard to appreciate it when someone else does. And there's always going to be that feeling of needing more and it just not being enough. Like, the compliments are never going to be enough unless you can give yourself those compliments. So make that a regular habit. And by the way, I have a podcast called the Be Affirmation Podcast where I talk all about being kind to yourself. Like, it's literally all about affirmations. So if that's your cup of tea, I'll have that linked for you in the description below. Tip number 3, not everyone is going to value you. Not everyone is going to see your worth, and not everyone is going to appreciate you the way you want to be appreciated. So you kind of just have to get to a place where it's like, you know what? I don't even care. Like, if he wants to go cheat on me, okay, bye. If she wants to do this behind my back, okay, bye. When you're on this self-love journey, you realize, like, you can't control anybody. You can't make anybody love you. You can't make anyone do anything. Instead of putting all that time and energy trying to get someone to see your worth, trying to get someone to love you, love yourself and see your own worth. Like, we cannot be out here chasing after love and trying to force other people to see us the way that we want to be seen. Like, you just have to accept that that is unrealistic and it's not worth your time and it's not worth your energy. Which brings me into tip number 4, and it's to also accept that you cannot control other people. So if you're worried about what your partner is doing behind your back, if you're worried about what your friends are saying behind your back, I want to ask you, why are you in that relationship and why are you in that friendship? You deserve to be happy in the relationships that you're in, and you deserve to have peace of mind. And if you're not getting that from the relationships that you have right now, then it's time to ask yourself what needs to change. What within you needs to change, or what within your environment needs to change for you to feel just more at peace and secure in yourself, but also in the relationships that you have in your life. And if you're out here trying to control what someone else is doing or saying, then you gotta ask yourself, like, is this worth the situation that I'm in? Is this worth the hassle and the stress? Or do I need to just walk away? And I know that that's not always easy, but it's something that you have to ask yourself either way. And the last tip that I have is to start validating yourself. So going back to the positive self-talk and going back to affirmations, it's to tell yourself, I am worthy. Like, I'm worthy of love. I'm beautiful the way that I am. I'm worthy of having amazing friendships, amazing romantic relationships. Whatever thing that you're insecure about, flip the script and make it something positive that you tell yourself. So like with me, and the example I gave y'all about my feet, as crazy it is, like, I had to get to that point where I told myself I'm worthy of loving my body exactly the way that it is, even though I have flat feet. You guys think I'm gonna be wearing sneakers and boots in the summer? No, I'm worthy of wearing the sandals, the flip-flops, or whatever I want to wear without worrying about what other people are gonna think. And that's kind of what you just have to tell yourself, is like, I don't care, I'm worthy. And a lot of this is just about repetition. Like, the more you tell yourself you're worthy, the more you say positive things to yourself, the more you start working on yourself, the more secure in yourself you start to feel. So let's talk about the homework for today. It's a free worksheet that you can get from my Patreon. There's 5 sections for you to fill out. The first question on there is just asking you what makes you feel insecure. I'm going to share a real example with you guys of something I used to be so insecure about in relationship, and that was a slow texter. Like, if I was talking to someone, dating someone, if they took more than like an hour to get back to me. So I might put in this text box, slow replies. And then in the next section that asks what limiting beliefs do you have about this insecurity, you're gonna write the scenarios and the stories that you tell yourself about it. So in my example, I would put down that I think that when a person texts me back slowly, or when they don't get back to me, that they don't want to talk to me, or maybe they think I'm boring. And then in the next section, you're gonna write about where that insecurity stemmed from. So in my example, it stemmed from prior relationships I was in. Like the very first relationship I was in, I just remember feeling really insecure insecure, because if this man took more than like an hour to get back to me, I would just be thinking like he's out doing something behind my back. And honestly, turns out he was. Like later on in life, I found out that he was texting other girls, that he was sending other girls pictures, and that confirmed the insecurity that I had. Even though things didn't work out with this partner, unfortunately, in other relationships I had after that, I kind of had that baggage and that fear of like, well, what's he doing? Like my ex was doing this behind my back, so like, is he doing things behind my back because he's not texting me back? I really like the next section, because this is where you're gonna write about what your truth really is. So in my example, my truth is that it doesn't matter what someone else is doing. It doesn't matter if someone else is taking 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to reply, because their delay in a response has nothing to do with my worth. That is my truth. If someone is taking a long time to get back to me, it doesn't mean I'm boring. It doesn't mean they don't love me. It doesn't mean any of that. And even if they think, okay, Ladette's boring and I'm just gonna delay the conversation, that has nothing to do with me. Like, you can think I'm boring, you can think I'm lame, you can think I'm not interesting, you can think I'm not pretty. I don't care, because I know that that's not my truth. And so this is just where you say like, what is really your truth about this limiting belief? And you want to make sure that what you put in this section is something positive. And then in the final section here, you're just gonna write an affirmation that you can start telling yourself. Try to like tie it back to that insecurity. So when I used to be insecure about people texting back slowly, those would have been the moments that would have been so helpful for me to sit back and be like, you know what? I'm so fun to talk to. I'm so fun to be around. Like, I bring so much love and joy into my life, into the other people around me, and the right ones are gonna vibe with it. The wrong ones aren't, and that's okay. So try to make your affirmation connect to that insecurity. That way you can start that repetition and start reminding yourself of your worth and what is your truth. And to download this PDF, it's super easy. You just go to my Patreon account, sign up for the free membership, and then head over to the collections section. That's where I'll have all of our assignments from my YouTube videos, and I'll definitely have some more worksheets in there for you guys. I want to create some sort of tangible that y'all can access, because I genuinely care about your growth and your self-love journey, and I just know how helpful it is for me when I have an actual tangible thing to like fill out. So that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Thanks for sticking around. I know how much of a toll that being insecure can have on you, especially on your emotional well-being, but I just know that you're gonna be okay, you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna be so confident on the other side of this self-love journey. I'm so proud of you for being here and for loving yourself enough to tackle on these things. I'm gonna have this comment in the chat. Let me know, what is one insecurity that you're ready to tackle, and what's one thing that you love about yourself right now? Love you guys. Bye.